Hi, welcome back. I'm Cecilia, and this is my January bullet journal setup. I've got a lot to show you, so we're just gonna jump right in.
Hi, welcome to February. Yes, I am setting up my January bullet journal spread in February. Well, to be clear, I've already set this up. I've already filled out most of it. I just need to do my finishing pages and it'll be February. But yeah, it took me a little bit of time to edit my bullet journal setup video that by the time I got around to editing this one, it was too late. But it's never too late to post it because ultimately I could totally just use this same theme. Anyone could take this inspiration from this theme and use it across any of the months. And actually, I think this would be a really great theme for February. It's like cutesy, it's got purples and pinks and pastels, and that's super February to me. So if you can't tell, I am taking inspiration from these adorable little Chip and Dale stickers and stationery that I got from my local Miniso, which is a Chinese retailer that's got like inspired by Japanese like kawaii aesthetic things. Anyway, so I have decided this year that most of my themes are going to be taken from all of the stationery that I collect. I have so many sticker sheets and packs of stationery supplies that I really need to get through because I went through this huge junk journaling phase and I really love junk journaling and I haven't gotten around to doing it. So I am going to use a lot of this stuff in my bullet journal this year. I'm really excited to kind of get through a lot of stuff that I need to use and actually use it because I'm definitely one of those people that likes to collect pretty things and then is terrified to actually use them. So, yes, I will be finally getting through some of that stuff. I have decided that a lot of the themes that I've done in the past, while beautiful and fun and really used a lot of my artistic energy, that's kind of what burned me out a little bit. I was doing a lot of like intense painting in my bullet journals, and while that gave me a lot of painting practice, I haven't not used my sketchbooks in a while because of that. So I'm kind of trying to compartmentalize my artistic hobbies into different spots instead of blending them all together. And while I did start my year off a little bit behind, I'm catching up pretty quickly. I have kind of developed a method behind my madness, and hopefully I can see it through and stick to it and stay on track because boy oh boy have I committed to doing a lot of things this year, but I'm so glad that I am. I'm not feeling overwhelmed by, well, I shouldn't say I'm not feeling overwhelmed. I'm totally feeling overwhelmed, but I know that I can do it, and if I stick to my guns, hopefully it'll help me with other things like my fitness journey, my health, like food journey, all of that. So that's what bullet journaling is. It's the thing that you do to kind of get your life in order, but aesthetically. At least for me. A lot of people do bullet journal very simply, and I have been taking some inspiration from some of those people to kind of dial it back in and really focus on the functionality of bullet journaling. So in this setup, actually, I ended up doing a lot of spreads that unfortunately I didn't get around to using it to their full potential because I was kind of so behind this month. But like I said, I'm catching up. I have not started my February theme yet, but that's okay. I have everything set aside and it's ready to go. I just need to sit down and turn on the camera and start doing it. But where was I? Right. My spreads. Got it. So I end up doing some spreads that I kind of knew that I wasn't going to get around to completely filling out, but I still wanted to test them out in this in the January setup because I knew that I wanted to use them for sure in February. So once that gets going, I will be using them. I promise. Myself, I promise. Yeah, so now you finally kind of get to see how I set up my month spreads. And this is pretty much how all of my months are going to look, or how they've looked in the past. I shouldn't say how they're going to look because I could totally change it up in a couple months. But that is pretty much how my calendar looks every time. I used to do like a whole big page spread back when I started, and it was just too much because I didn't end up using it. I barely even like flicked back and looked at it, and I'm barely gonna flick back and look at this, but it's there and it needs to be there. So because I will look at it, just not that much. But yeah, so this is how I set up my calendar. I've got the calendar on top on the left, and my plans are gonna go below that, which you'll see soon. I've got the trackers here on the right, which are supposed to track my my habits, behaviors, etc. I didn't end up using them this month, or this past month, because I was behind and I was working on editing, and like, long story short, I've changed a lot of the software and stuff that I use, and it was just an adjustment period, and it was kind of like an everything at once sort of situation. And additionally, I also have like new hardware. I've got like a new printer, I've got a new tablet, so just like a lot of adjusting to new things kind of got me a little bit behind, but I'm getting there. And that's what's important to me, at least. So here I've done something really cool that I recently discovered on accident, using some scrap washi paper that I had from making stickers and like washi like strips that are kind of like washi tape, but they're in strips. And I, instead of accidentally messing up my page, I can now do my lettering onto the washi paper, and since the transfer, it's like translucent, I can just stick it straight onto the white page and you can barely tell. However, I didn't stick it onto the page this time because I wanted to do something fun, so I did it onto this paper. And then I accidentally discovered again that this marker was so close to the color of the paper that when I drew over it, it looked just kind of like I had taken off the like paper there in that spot, kind of. A little. So yeah, this is my little habit tracker, and just below it I have the side quests, which is the words that I use to motivate myself to do chores. And these are like monthly chores that I need to get done. I put them in pencil just in case any of them changed, but they ended up not changing, and I used all of those and I wrote it in pen. I'll update you if I got around to finishing those chores in January. I super don't remember. This tool is so cool. It's like an X-Acto knife in a pen. So you see that little teeny tiny shiny sharp tip. You just click, click, and slice, and you've got a little safe little stationary X-Acto knife. I believe I ordered that off of AliExpress or something like that. But it's super cool. It's not really great for doing like big cuts. I still use my X-Acto knife for that, but it does the trick for like small little things like cutting that washi tape. I ended up filling out my plans in my calendar off screen just because, I don't know, feel like that's a little bit private. I mean, not that like there's anything crazy weird on there, but like a lot of it's like doctor's appointments and like when I'm going to do things, I don't know, I just kind of want to keep that to myself. If you want to know about it, you can ask me. It's a pretty boring. But I also put like birthdays and special events and stuff on there. It's really just kind of like an outlook for the month sort of looking thing. So yeah. And this next page is my content page. Guess what? I didn't use it. Oops. But it's a prototype page. So that's how I used it. I used it as a prototype so that I can like refer back to it when I'm setting up my future month spreads. And that's okay. I like how I say that's okay so many times. But it is okay because I have a full life. I'm doing things. It's not that I'm not doing things. I'm just not doing this thing, and I'm setting it up and preparing it for future use because then I'll know what I'm doing next time. Whereas when I set it up, I wasn't exactly sure how I would be using it, and now that I kind of have a better idea of what my process is going to be moving forward, I can change it however I need. So I'm not upset about not using it. It's going to happen. You're going to set up bullet journals and then not use some of the pages in it. And yeah, you'll be a little bit disappointed in yourself. But like, if you feel bad about not having used it, use it in the future. Or if you realized it's not functional for you, don't make it again. Like, bullet journaling is however you want it to be. You can do a really rigorous, very strictly like following the bullet journal method. You can do something super loose and creative and do like paint and do little swatches like from your days and stuff. How I use mine is up to me. So this is what I'm calling end of part 1 because this is the end of the monthly setup spreads. And from here, the rest of them are going to be my weekly spreads, and it's cut in half because then I can make it work better on different social media platforms. Why else? So yes, so the rest of the spreads now are going to be my weekly spreads. And again, like I mentioned before, a lot of the little columns and little boxes that I'm going to create are new ideas that I've had for my future weekly spreads that I'll be using more starting now in February. This is also now the part where the cute little ASMR sounds go away because I started streaming Love is Blind while I was setting up these pages. So I can't play the sound. I'm so sorry, but you can enjoy some wonderful music while I doodle and decorate, and now is the time to vibe out. Sit back, relax, have a little tasty treat, and enjoy. appreciating the gentle sunset we have happening here, the golden hour starting to peek through. I cannot wait until the lighter times of the year, because I've got this giant window in front of me, and it's so hard to find a good time where the light is coming through in the darker months. So I really have to do this like film setup, or even if I just like want to paint in natural light, I have to do it at the very right time of the day, which generally means I can only do it on the weekends since I do work from home. But when I get off of work, it's usually like the sun is already setting. And it's like until we get into the spring months, it's going to be that way for, for another, maybe until daylight savings happens, another 2 months or so. But that's okay. We make do with what we can, and we use ring lights and stuff, and it just doesn't look as natural, of course. But yeah, that's okay. So I think in the future I'm going to do kind of a come with me while I fill out my bullet journal spread thing, because this is just me setting it up, but you don't know how I use it. So let me know if you'd like to see that, because it'll be like a small thing. I don't foresee it being a 30-minute thing. I foresee it being on a very short reel or something like that. But essentially how I use it is in these little daily boxes. I kind of fill out the standout things from each day that makes that day memorable. And sometimes the days are not memorable, and if I get a little bit behind, I do the fun thing of going through my calendar, going through my photos, going through my conversations to remember what I did. So we're trying to avoid that by filling it out daily. I just don't always get around to filling it out daily, but that's how I tend to catch up when I have to catch up. But yeah, like what I mean by standout events is like literally what I ate for dinner, if I watched like a movie or a show, or if I played a game, if I went shopping after work, if I hung out with friends, something like that. Things that make the day unique. Because every day is unique, You're not exactly the same every single day, unless you have some kind of thing that makes you do your days exactly the same. Or if it's Groundhog Day, which, oh my gosh, it is Groundhog Day today while I'm doing this while I'm doing this voiceover. How fun. Anyway, you can see that Saturday and Sunday is bigger than the other days. A lot of people mesh Saturday and Sunday together because I think that means they have a lot of plans during the week. My life is a little bit reversed. My weekdays look like work and then eat dinner and watch whatever or read a book or something. And then my weekends, I do so much stuff, and it's like it just needs more space to record. So that is how I use my daily spread. And I've got that little weekend wants in the corner. That is something that I decided to start making, but I again haven't used in January. I will be using in February, I promise. And really what it is like something for me to note the things that I would like to get accomplished over the weekend, because the weekend is when I get things done. Like, I can get some things done during the week, but I'm working, so I can't always. As you can see, I am going to abandon the ruler because at this point I was really bored of drawing perfect lines, and it takes so much longer to line it up with a ruler than just to like draw a line straight. So these boxes are going to be a little imperfect, but I ended up making all of my weekly spreads at once instead of when I was going to use them, which is usually when I do it. And actually, I kind of preferred this way, even though it was a little bit more tedious because it was very repetitive since, you know, I'm just doing the same spread over and over again. But I always like to change it up by making it different colors or using different stickers or what have you. So yeah, I just freehanded this page, and that's cool. I've got the cute little heart sticker on the bottom, and I'm sure you were wondering what I was doing earlier, coloring in those acorns. Some of the colors in these stickers are like, they just don't go well with the theme, so I was just kind of color correcting them a little bit to make them look more to like make them work more in the with the theme. So this week was my my husband and I's dating anniversary, so we had a little date night, and we so I decorated my theme with lots of hearts, made it all cute and happy. We had a lovely time. We went to this amazing seafood restaurant. It was like a Italian restaurant, but they mostly focused on seafood. It was excellent. I'm trying to remember to tell you where I got my supplies. That sticker sheet that I used with the little heart arrow on the bottom was from Notebook Therapy. So I don't remember the collection, but you'll find it on their website. as I go ahead and finish up these this final page, this is the last page in this spread that I am setting up. The next pages I fill out at the beginning of the next month or the end of that month. And they are just my summary pages. I kind of like to list out all the movies I watched, the books I read, the music that I liked that month, etc. You know what I mean? A little summary of the month. So that's it. You can see that there. I've outlined this little, like, this month I did this. We'll see how it goes. That's the first time I'm doing it. And here we go with a flip through.